Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Monday morning. We're going to be bedding the heifers and milk cows in the new barn with our Becker bedding spreader. First thing I'm going to do is get all these heifers up and push them up front. We do have automatic scrapers, but they are timed in such a way that I have a window every morning when they're not running that I can come in and bed all the stalls without having to worry about them starting up. Doesn't take much to get them up front. They've usually been laying all night, so they're ready to go up front, and their feed will be coming shortly. You can see how bright it is in here. We just went through and installed all LED lights. It's made a world of difference. You can see the stalls better and do a better job of cleaning. Just coming along down through here, getting all the manure off, digging out any wet spots. You'll see the scraper's kind of catching on a lip. When we installed these mattresses, we didn't get enough fill under them to keep them up higher than that lip so that the stalls would drain a little bit better. It's not terrible, but it would have made cleaning up a lot easier. Here I'm just going in, grabbing a bucket full of sand. I don't like to overfill the bedder because that sand weighs so much. Here I'm just shooting it into the first group we milk's pen. I like to shoot it up towards the front because when the cows go to lay down, they always kind of claw it back a little bit, and if you put it up front, that keeps the sand in the stalls a lot longer. This first group that I'm bedding now usually takes about 3 buckets. The way I meter the sand out is I can kind of adjust how fast I'm going down the alley, or I can adjust my RPMs, and that kind of helps decide how far I throw it and how much I throw at a time. Basically, when you're going down through, you can bed going forward or backwards. You just got to watch that you don't get any sand down in the alley because it wastes it, and then the automated scrapers have a lot of trouble pushing it also. And of course, you got to be mindful of the water cups. You don't want to be spreading sand into them, and you have to clean it even more often. Here I'm grabbing a bucket of sawdust. We bed all our heifers with sawdust and the milk cows with sand. The reason we only use sand with our cows is because sand is an inorganic material and does not support the growth of pathogens, and sawdust does. So when a cow comes back from milking and her teat canal is still open, there's a chance if she was laying in sawdust, some of that could get up in her mammary, and we want the cleanest, most comfortable stalls we can for our milk cows so that when they're laying down, they're comfortable and making milk. You can see how this Woodchuck spreader has a kind of an agitation bar that keeps the bedding going down and through so that the auger at the bottom of that can suck it out into the spinners, and it just has really good flow. Don't have much trouble with it getting stuck up in there. With the heifers, we're not worried about putting a lot of bedding down. We're just putting a light layer to cut down on the friction and to make it easier to remove the manure. And
on. Bip, 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 bip.
Alright, so now I'm just in the big group. This is the last group of cows we milk. I'm gonna chase them up front and lock all the gates so that I can bed. And that way, if they start coming back from milking before I'm done bedding, they'll be up front and I'll be in the back.
Bear. Come on. Go eat. Come on. Eat. Yup.
So we bed 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On the days I bed, I just pull the manure and wet stuff out of the stalls. On the days I don't bed, I will pull the manure and wet stuff out of the stalls, but I'll also recover it. But since I'm coming back through with the spreader, it's going to get covered up anyways with new sand. So I've got this GoPro mounted right on the hose so that you guys can kind of see up close. I want to scrape it right down to that stall material and get everything out of there. Comes off pretty easy, but you do have to put a little bit of pressure on some of the wet spots to get it dug down. There, we're just loading up with some more sand to do the big group. I usually bed sand with about 3/4 throttle. You don't need it at full throttle because you'll just toss the sand everywhere and make a mess and it won't end up in the stall. Kind of just grab a decent sized scoop and flick it back to level out the bucket because this stuff is heavy. And here we're coming with a front view. You can really see good here how I'm tossing most of the sand up to the front by that brisket pipe and not letting any fall into the alleyway. Alright, so now I'm all done bedding. I'm just coming down, getting a little bit of sawdust in the bedder, and I'm gonna just kind of flush the bedder out of all the sand and get it all cleaned out. It doesn't matter so much in the summer months, but in the winter, if you leave anything inside that bedder, when you go to use it the next day, the material will be froze, and so will your spinners and your augers, and you'll spend quite a while beating them free, so you always want to get it cleaned out and ready for the next time. Alright, that about does it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how we bed our animals in the freestalls, and we'll catch you on the next one.